going on, Sergio? You know what day it is. It's Tuesday,
Yes.
episode 146. We got 4 more weeks until we hit that 150 mark. Woo.
Are we off?
Believe
Are we off for that week?
that? No, out of all of it, I think we've only missed 2 weeks, and that was because of the holidays from Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll be drinking my apple juice on that one. So there you go.
well, we got a great show for you today, so let's get right into it. First, let's do our rundown. What's going on? We have special guest Ryan Green, CEO of Gridwise, coming on in just a few moments. We have a man accused of assaulting Uber driver. Our Uber Connect drivers being used as drug mules. Colorado legislators are pushing for stricter background checks on rideshare drivers. We're also going to be talking about Lyft introducing bigger, better rewards. We're also going to be talking about what is the SETC and can you actually get your money back from the government? Sergio's got a little bit of a story right there for you. We got a feel-good story about an Uber driver saving a rider's life, often imitated and never duplicated. Lyft, we're talking about you. We already talked about Uber once before, and now we're going to be talking about your turn, Lyft. Then we're going to go into super chats, shout outs, and questions, answers, all that good stuff with the comments. Then we're going to be talking in driver's corner. What are you doing for safety? So if you got something with safety in mind, just like Steph's comments, we'll get to those in a little while. Sorry to hear, Steph. I hope you're okay. But yeah, safety is key. Dash cams are absolutely key. And with that being said, I would love to talk about today's sponsor, which is what we had on last week, which is Nexar. And if you don't know about dash cameras, you need to know. I mean, we've talked about it all the time, but it's definitely clear why rideshare drivers like us need dash cams. But what is a good dash cam for rideshare drivers? Well, you got your basic dash cams that's going to record to a memory card. And that's really about it. And then you got a dash cam that's actually built for rideshare drivers like you. Enter Nexar. So here's what's going to make it different. Nexar offers both road-facing and cabin-facing cameras to capture everything that matters. It connects directly to an unlimited cloud through the LTE network, so every incident is automatically uploaded and stored securely. No fiddling with cables or memory cards. Plus, whenever you need to save important footage, just clip it and store it in the cloud forever. Perfect for those times when you need, when passengers file complaints weeks or even months after a ride. Nexar is constantly evolving with new AI features and updates that help protect rideshare drivers. They actually get what we need because they work directly with drivers like us. Right now, Nexar has a special offer just for the Rideshare Guy watchers and listeners right here. Head over to getnexar.com and use code RSGNexar. It's RSGNEXAR to save $10 on your Nexar dash camera. That's getnexar.com, code RSGNexar. So if you're a rideshare driver, you probably know you need a dash cam, but don't just get any dash cam. Get the dash cam that's made for rideshare drivers. And it's not just me who's saying it. We're going to talk about somebody else right here. Hold on.
The day of the accident, I was in the right lane. When the light changed, the driver to my left decided to make a right turn and crashed into the side of my car. Once the impact took place, the Nexar dash cam automatically saved a clip. There was irrefutable proof that I was not at fault. My name is Walter Hurdle. I live in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York, and I'm an Uber driver and Lyft driver. Because I had the Nexar dash cam, I was able to prove that the other vehicle was 100% at fault, and I was able to get full reimbursement from the insurance company for my repairs. I would recommend any Uber or Lyft driver to get a Nexar dash cam. It makes me feel safer and secure in my vehicle, as there are times when passengers are having a bad day, they're disgruntled. The Nexar dash cam has the ability to record inside and outside the vehicle. One of the beauties is that if there's an incident, it automatically saves the footage to the phone and to the cloud without you manually having to save the footage. The Nexar dash cam is definitely a means by which we can protect ourselves, because a picture says 1,000 words, a video actually says 1,000,000.
All right. So yes, get a dash camera. Dustin, I see that right there. Get a dash cam. But yes, let's get right into today's guest. We have Ryan Green from Gridwise, the CEO. Ryan, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, Ryan, what's up? Long time coming. Seriously, we've been trying to get you for a while, but then this worked out perfectly because we're going to meet you in person at Curbivore in about a month or so, not even.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Definitely agree. Long overdue, but I've kept up with the show, so definitely a big fan and excited to be here today. So again, thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate it as always. Let's get right into it. Tell us about Gridwise. What is Gridwise? Obviously, you're the CEO. I know about Gridwise, but then our audience may not know much about it. In fact, I just highlighted a comment. Mo Nuri says, I use Gridwise Plus and I absolutely love it. So there you go. So what is Gridwise? What do you guys do?
That's great to hear. Yeah, there's thousands and thousands of drivers who are coming in saying very similar things. And so think of Gridwise as this all-in-one companion app for a rideshare driver, delivery driver, any type of on-demand gig worker. It is an app that is focused on helping you maximize your income, helping you work smarter, not harder. So how do we do that? You come into the app as a driver. You're able to link over about 20 different accounts that you may be working for, track your earnings across about 175 different types of gig services as well. And you use our app to help you best kind of plan when and where you should be working based off of all the different types of insights we will give you about your market that you are working on, or you can switch to other markets if you change where you're working. But also you use us as a companion while you're working. We're tracking all of your trips, all of your earnings, all of your mileage tax deductions, but also helping you make real-time decisions on when and where you should be working as well. So after you've gone out, you've completed working, now we're actually using us to kind of track all of your performance stats, see how you're doing compared to the market, and keep track of those trends over time. So really think of us as this, again, all in one place. You're coming to Gridwise to manage everything about your gig work all in one place. And it's helping you. What we see is like with drivers who are using this and are dedicated to using our app, in the first 30 days, we see about an average increase of about 30% in their hourly earnings from using the app.
Yeah, I mean, for us, the rideshare guy, you said it too. It's not work hard, it's work smart, right? And efficiency, right? Utilization, multi-apping, all these things that we've been talking about until we're blue in the face. Some people listen, some people don't. But then the ones that don't are the ones that complain. I'm not making any money. I'm like, well, maybe you should listen. So Gridwise is great for that, for all your apps under one roof, basically, right? And so I know about it again, but then I want you to tell us, the different platforms or different levels of service you offer to the driver community. And we'll then, after that, once we're done with that, we're obviously going to have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is your wonderful 2025 gig mobility report that came out about a month ago, and we highlighted it on the show. But let's talk a little bit about the different levels of Gridwise services you're offering.
Yeah, of course. So we have a pretty simple set of plans that exist. We have a basic plan, the free version of Gridwise, available for anybody to come in and register for an account within seconds and be able to start using the app and gaining value out of it. We do have a premium version as well. That is $9.99 a month, or $71.99 a year as well. And so really, like, the difference between those two plans is we would say that in the actual premium version, you're kind of paying for the convenience of automation. So if you want to connect all of your gig work accounts, you want to track everything about your work and not have to touch anything, then we're able to do that automatically across all of your tax deductible mileage, all of your trips and earnings, everything about your work kind of coming in and being in one central place, and you being able to keep up with your business without really having to do a lot of manual curation. On the basic version, it allows you to track a lot of the same things, but in many cases requires you to actually kind of manually curate more of that information, like manually input your earnings or expenses or things of that sort. And so really the reason why we delineate between that automation and convenience is that there are additional costs for us to actually be able to support and service, provide that type of service as well. And so those are at a high level. There's many other, many features and many different components of features that maybe are differentiated between those. That's kind of the main piece. I would call out a few of the minor ones would be additional insights or other components or additional insights, advanced insights we provide around the market of different stats you can track around, like if I wanted to see what's the best neighborhood for tipping in mornings driving for Uber. And because I'm going to drive for Uber that day, I can get that granular and see those types of things. But I also have access to this unique marketplace of offers, and there's many offers that are available to all users in the basic plan, but there's also Gridwise Plus specific offers that are only provided to plus users as well.
Right. So it's not just data, but also marketplace, right? And so the gig world, obviously, look where we are in 10 years, right? I mean, gig economy is not, it's been only around 10 years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in its full force anyway. And look where we are, right? From its infancy to millions and millions of people up to, according to Uber, if you believe what they say, up to, hi Uber, is up to 7 million people are on their platform. I mean, globally, right? So by the way, is Gridwise just for the US or is it international? Because we have viewers in UK and New Zealand and all over the place. So can they use Gridwise in their markets as well, or is it just US based at the moment?
Gridwise is US based at the moment, and I will say that we have international ambitions.
Okay, that's enough. That's spoken like a true CEO. So one other thing that I wanted to touch upon about Gridwise is that how has the growth been at Gridwise? Like, I mean, obviously exponentially, gig economy exploded. Has your growth kept pace with with the gig economy itself?
Yeah, I would say is if you think about the kind of trajectory of Gridwise over time, is like when we started, and for the first few years, we were very rideshare centric.
Yeah.
Really, we had ambitions to really broaden our support and capabilities and features to delivery workers and other types of on-demand gig workers as well that perform household goods and services or walk your dogs on demand or things like that. And I would say what really catalyzed our urgency to expand into those other areas of the gig economy was the pandemic. So we were seeing really great exponential growth. Pandemic comes, we're very rideshare centric. Our business completely tanks instantly as that happens. And so as we started to expand into the delivery, that allowed us to see quite a bit of a turnaround towards the latter part of 2020 and see really great growth in 2021 and beyond. So we've got hundreds of thousands of gig workers across the US who are actively using Gridwise to manage all of their work. And so we're continuing to see great growth across the platform in the US. And we see still a lot of upside for growth here. And then in the future, as we look at other geographies outside the US.
Yeah, are you a serial entrepreneur? I mean, this is your first foray into this kind of, app-based platform, or what have you done before?
Yeah, it's no, great question. This is the first venture-backed company that I've started and scaled to this extent. I did start a company, bootstrapped it in college in the financial services space. We built a web application called FX Connection and had continued to scale that as I was in active duty military. But we shut it down after two and a half years, as it was all my partners were on planes and boats around the world, and so it just wasn't conducive to running a company. And at that time, this was like this was like a really key moment for Gridwise, is that I was tinkering with a lot of other concepts, and this new concept called Uber came to the city I was stationed in. They expanded there, so I took a few rides, but then I signed up to drive, and I was like, and everyone was like, "What? What are you doing? Like you're in the military, you're doing this X, Y, and Z. Why are you going out and driving?" I was like, "I don't know. This is really interesting concept. Something's here." But as soon as I maybe went out for the second time to work, I was really surprised by like how challenging it was to actually work. I felt blind out on the road. There wasn't anything really helping to guide me on like where I should be working. Fast forward, when I get out of the military, I go into banking, and but I also signed up for Lyft. So I was actively driving for Uber and Lyft, taking rides with Uber and Lyft, and between as I was outside of work. And that's where the light bulb had lit up, where I was just like, wow, I'm experiencing the pain points firsthand, and being a driver, I'm talking to a lot of drivers as well. hearing them complain about a lot of the same pain points I'm experiencing, and seeing that there is no app that's really collectively helping gig workers best manage their work across all these platforms they work for and help them better optimize their time and maximize their earnings. So that's what really started. That was the the epiphany that it had happened at that time, that kind of early genesis that fruitioned into the early beginnings of Gridwise.
Yeah, but well, your advantage was that you were a driver. You felt the pain points, and then built something that's going to serve those. Any plans for IPO or going public or things like that, or are you going to stay private, or what's happening?
I think we're continuing to stay private, focused on continuing to deliver value to our core user base, and ensuring that, I think the most important thing for us and what I like to do is build options. And so if we have the option to do that and see that in the future, like we want to position ourselves for that. I think as being a venture scale company, we're focused on rapidly scaling the platform. So that could be a future option that we do consider, but keeping our options open now.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about, so you've done these reports called gig mobility reports. How many years have you in a row have you? This is the one from comparing. This is, I think, from 2024, 2022, 2023. So Len put this, Len Sherman. Hey, Len, our good friend from Columbia Business School. With the help of Gridwise, he put a couple of articles out where Uber and Lyft Uber specifically did not like it, but numbers don't lie. So Ryan, every time we talk about these things, okay, this is what I hear the next day, or with an email or whatever, right? So they go like, small sample size, edge case. I'm going like, what are you guys talking about? Edge case. If it happens to one driver, is one too many drivers, but forget about that part. Let's just, so this is the 22-23 report, and comparing, right, earnings of drivers. It's for us. Look, we do our surveys, we get obviously responses. Earnings have always been at the top of the list, right? I'm not making enough money. I'm not making enough money. I'm like, okay. So second one is always safety or unjust deactivations, just kind of switch around. And the third one and the fourth one is support, obviously, which is lack of support instead of just support. I call it black hole. But so earnings, so the trend, I'm involved in equity markets. I was a derivatives equities trader for 30 years on Wall Street, right? There's something that we say, the trend is your friend. Just follow a trend. So how's the trend been as far as driver earnings are concerned?
I think as you look at the screenshot that you guys have here, 2022 over to 2023 is like, you saw a little bit of a bag in terms of their earnings trends there. As you saw, like, something a little bit more positive from Lyft and gross earnings. You saw positive from Grubhub, and some declines in these other services mentioned. As we look at our gig mobility report reflective of 2024, this is the second report that we've produced. And as we look at the trend there, Sergio, is like, there is a very stark difference in the trend this year, this past year, is that you're seeing across the board, you're seeing earnings for almost every major service have declined as we look at hourly earnings, while workers are working more. So they're working more out on the road, and they're earning less, which those are two different types of forces that you don't want to go against each other. If you work more, you hopefully would earn more, right? And so I think that has been something that has been, you guys, as you mentioned, you're always talking about this. Our report has maybe helped validate some of those assumptions of things that we've been hearing about a lot in the market over this last year. So that drop in rideshare pay, I think we saw it was about 4 to 6% across Uber and Lyft, about 4 or 5% on delivery services as well. We did see that some of the food-focused delivery services, like a DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, they actually did see like take-home pay increase, but they had to work a lot more to see that happen. So there at least was like the right balance there where it's like it's unfortunate you have to work more to be able to maintain or see a slight increase in take home pay. But at least as they are working more, their pay is increasing. But hourly pay across those services as well also decline.
So that's on the face of, I mean, we all experience this, right? In something called inflation, cost of living increases, right?
Yep.
Our cars, our maintenance, it's on us, right? I mean, according to the U.S. government, from the last reports I checked, car maintenance over the last 4 years has gone up close to 50%.
Yeah.
And so if you're working more hours, your cost of doing business, which is your car, that's the tool you take to work, is higher. And your earnings are going down 4%, 5% on an annual basis. So the trend is not the trend is not your friend in this case. The other thing that I want to talk to you a little bit about, so is Gridwise report an edge case? Is it like what happened there? Is it like, am I going to get a phone call from Uber tomorrow? Yeah, it's just not enough sample size. So what was the sample size for these reports? Like how many trips did you look at? And the other thing is I want to talk about after this is the rider. What's happening to the rider? What's happening to the consumer? So, remind me if I forget that. But so how many data points did you look at to put this report together?
Yeah, I would say there's a few points that as we look at the inputs into this report that I think make this a pretty credible report. One is like the sample size. We're looking at nearly 250,000 drivers that we are tracking. We tracked over 1.7 billion earnings on just in 2024. Over 164 million trips that we've analyzed as part of this report as well. And so I think as we look at that, I think the benefit of that, not only the benefit of the sample size is there, but there's also the benefit of how it's collected. We talked about, when drivers come in and they use our application, they're able to connect their accounts and actually programmatically or automatically like pull in their trips, their earnings, and things like that. So this is directly being pulled in. This isn't some PDFs that are being submitted that may have some human error to them or anything like that. So we're seeing the ground truth, insight, and data that's being contributed to the findings that have come out in this report.
So millions of trips, right? So I mean, look, that's why I think a third-party app like Gridwise is important, because you need to earn more money just to keep pace with inflation, let alone do anything else. So what better way than using the services of an app like Gridwise to increase your earnings? You need to increase your earnings. I mean, we're all doing this for money. We're not doing this for charity, Uber. I mean, seriously, like, we're not a public service. We're not going to take your drunks around for like $4 a trip. So our goal is to just make everybody more efficient, but then with the help of Gridwise, we can get them there probably. So in this report, there was one other part that kind of confirms what we've been saying, talking to the rider groups, obviously, but also, drivers as well, is that, so last 2.5, 3 years, Uber started this and then Lyft joined, and everybody else is doing it, obviously. Something called upfront fares, right? So we're running dual algos, these wonderful evil algos that they create and change around probably 6 times a day in a given city. So what they do is they charge the rider as much as they can, with certain elasticity, because there's a pesky Lyft out there. They can't charge too much, right? And they pay us through these algos, they pay as little as they can. What say you about that? Because I think it was 7.2% that the rider fares had gone up.
Yeah, we saw consumer prices, as we can see on every trip. We can see the consumer price, we can see the driver pay. So we're across Rideshare and some of the delivery services, and so we saw that consumer prices rose about a little over 7%, as well across cities. Now, if you look at many of the major and mid-market cities, we saw that prices rose across the board. There was not many markets where prices did not increase. Now, you saw some that increased maybe 4 or 5%, while others like Los Angeles increased 26%.
Wow.
So there were some pretty large increases there. And if you look at like the price per mile by various cities. I think something that's really stood out to us is seeing that, those cities that have like minimum wage mandates, like New York or Seattle or others like that. I mean, the price per mile is almost double what it is in other cities in Seattle and New York. And so it's just, I think we've seen just continue rises there. You've seen some decrease in driver pay, but I do think that like at this, I think it's easy for us to look at that there's things easy for us to look at the services and see that, hey, with Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and these companies, it's like, hey, they can easily go in and like, move these levers and make everybody happy. And I think they're also kind of like, as they're trying, there's a lot of factors that are going into this that make it difficult for them to do that as well. And I wanted to touch on that a little bit and get your guys' take on it. Is that, I think we've talked a little bit about the market conditions. You were mentioning, Sergio, like inflation, and we see kind of just the cost of living increase. And so you've seen this, I think, over the past few years, this large flock of the population start to gravitate toward using gig work as a means to kind of augment their income. It's like, hey, I need to cover my bills. I need to make more money. This is the easy way to go out and do that. So the supply of workers has increased. And in our report, we've seen that not only reflected like as an impact to maybe one factor of many impacting pay, but also like the idle time of drivers increased as well. And so the drivers are spending more time with nobody in their vehicle, just driving around waiting on the next request for food or people to come in. But then you also have rising insurance costs, which make up a large portion of Uber and Lyft's revenue. And then you have like, I think, in some cases maybe warranted, but in a lot of cases there's kind of malicious level of lawsuits that exist as well that the services are having to account for. And so like they're getting all these additional costs thrown at them. And I think you hear Dar even kind of pushing pretty aggressively right now for like insurance reform, because if you look kind of behind the scenes, like insurance making a killing here, and everyone else is, the service platforms are getting squeezed, so they gotta squeeze and pull levers that they need to, and then they gotta please Wall Street. So it's a really, really difficult model to kind of really make work for all the constituents, and we're kind of feeling the end effect as consumers or as drivers.
Well, it's a really, really difficult business to be in. I mean, when I talk to the executives from all the way top, all the way down to the doorman at these companies, I do put myself in their shoes, okay? And I do understand Wall Street, and I understand earnings. And since they went public, the squeeze is on the driver, though. And in fact, it was in their S1. It was in their S1. They said it clearly. Look, drivers are not going to be happy because we have to cut pay, and it's clearly says it in there. And it has happened. So in a two-sided marketplace, Ryan, you have to charge as much as you can. You have to pay as little as you can to turn a profit, because rideshare is or delivery is not exactly a super profitable business, or historically anyway. So yeah, I do get it. And insurance is definitely a pain point on the company's side. And that's why I think every rideshare driver should have a dash cam in their car, to be perfectly honest with you. If you drive 10 hours or 50 hours a week. I've hit upon anything I wanted to talk about, so I'll give you the floor, close us up, and we're going to see a Curbivore in person, but besides that, give our audience some advice. Give us a sales pitch why they should immediately, right after this, go sign up with Gridwise.
I think there's I'll give some general advice, and then I think there's like the Gridwise specific advice as well. I think and you hinted on this earlier earlier when we started, is that, we look at, you guys have been telling drivers, you should be multi-acting, doing everything you can to maximize your earnings. And so I think is that, you as whether you're part-time or full-time, you should be trying to, I talk to so many drivers, I'm sure you guys talk to so many, that you get in the car with them or you talk to them and they're like, oh, I'm only doing this part-time. I'm only driving for one service. And it's just like, well, like what, imagine what you're doing when you're spending downtime. Imagine if you have two on at the same time or three, you can actually, like, that's going to decrease your idle time and increase your earnings. And if you look at your hourly earnings, I think the challenge is that a lot of drivers don't see their hourly earnings, and it's hard for the services to kind of show them because their apps are turned on and off all the time. And so that's where I think this transitions into the Gridwise part, is that that's where an app like Gridwise really comes into play, and where we can really be beneficial is that think of us as a layer over all the services. So as you're working across them all, turning them on, turning them off, working as you see fit, whether it's one service, it's multiple, we are able to capture the full breadth of all of your work activity, all of your work history, and actually help you see your true hourly earnings, help you see your true dollars per mile, all of your tipping stats, everything about your work in one place. And so I think having that full financial picture, having the benefits at tax season, and being able to leverage our insights to help you maximize, increase your potential earnings are all the reasons why you should be using Gridwise as you're out working on the road, whether you're a rideshare driver, food, grocery delivery, or even doing parcel for like a roadie, Amazon Flex, walking dogs on Wag, Rover, etc.
Yeah.
So I think the us being drivers ourselves has really helped us build an application that we see has become the leading business app for gig workers in the US today.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000,000%. And you know, drivers who are just stuck on one single app, they're not going to make it. I mean, you know, let it be part-time, let it be full-time. You must multi-app, and you must, because, you know, there's a glass ceiling in this, Ryan. I mean, we can't do like 50 trips an hour, right? So we need to utilize, it's called utilization factor. We need to utilize that hour, that 60 minutes, as much as we can. We need to be with the person in the car, or food in the car, or groceries in the car, doing it. Sitting on our butt, you know, I might as well sit at home, watch YouTube. Why am I going to sit in my car and watch YouTube? You know what I mean? So utilization factor is something important. I want to also touch upon one other thing. There's a lot of these company CEOs, they come out and say, I know I wanted to finish, but I'll give you more time to finish. They go, nationwide, right? Drivers are earning $30 an active hour, right? Yeah. Active hour is something that came around after, you know, this. So your report is not active hour, correct? Your report is online hour, basically, right?
Our report is full coverage of like we're including your downtime and your active time. So it's like really your full like working period that is not going to be seen in anything that those companies are reporting.
Yeah, active time is hocus pocus. So that's what I'm going to finish with.
Yeah, because the active time, I think in a lot of cases, it's like that. You back into that. It's really like your time on trip. It's like, and it's like, okay, well, if I was 100% utilized, then active time would make complete sense to report. But nobody is 100% utilized, not even close. So it's you've got to look beyond active time.
I 100% agree. So Ryan, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you showing up. You know, we're going to see you in person, hopefully in a month or so. And please go visit Gridwise. The links are in the show notes. Please go check them out. I think it's probably the best third-party app out there. And if you want to earn more, incrementally more, because if you're out there 50 hours a week, people, you earn a couple of bucks extra for those hours through the help of Gridwise app. That's $100 a week, $400 a month, $5,000 a year, people. You got to think that way. Am I right on that one? I think my math is pretty good.
I think it's pretty spot on there.
Yeah. So,
well, guys, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. This was great. Appreciate and respect the show. You guys are doing a lot to give drivers more insight into how they should be thinking about how they operate and help them stay up on top of everything that's happening in the industry. So this is great.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see you next month too.
All right. We'll see you guys next month.
Take care.
All right. Bye. All right. So that is Ryan Green of Gridwise. And if you got any questions, just email Sergio. He will forward them along. But if you're looking, you know, I mean, we talk about third-party apps, especially when it comes to helping manage your business, because that's what it is. Look, I have another business. I have a CRM, and it costs me money every single month. And let me tell you, what it does for what I needed to do is amazing. And it's the same types of things when it comes to Gridwise or apps like that, that's going to help you manage your business, manage your earnings, manage everything that you need to know about it. So good app there. And then on top of it, we get the gig report. So we know exactly what's going on with millions of data points and trips, which is a lot better than what you and I can do or people emailing us can do. we're able to get that in real time and stuff. So seeing those reports are pretty good.
Well, I'm glad these reports really, I'm not going to, well, solidified maybe is the wrong word, or, has proven what we've been saying is not, we're just not smoking some high-end pot here, man. We talk to the drivers, and we feel the pain, and we report on it. And then when these companies come out and say, oh, every driver in nationwide is earning $30 active hour. Dara, if utilization rate is 50%, what's $30? Cut that in half. It's 15 gross before expenses.
Yep.
So check, why doesn't Uber ever release city by city? They know this, city by city utilization rate. How about that? Yeah, exactly.
You're funny.
Well, I have the data. I mean,
Yep.
Anyway, so no, good to see Ryan. We'll see him. We're going to see all these people at Curbivore in a month.
Yeah.
Ryan and Zach last week, and
Speaking of,
I'm going to put you in a
if you guys are
Waymo.
interested, we're going to put the code up next week. So if you guys are interested in coming to Curbivore, meeting both Sergio and myself this time, and getting together with the drivers, make sure you plan for that. It's I believe it's like April 9th or 10th or something like that. It's that Friday, right in downtown LA. So yeah,
we're going to promo that like hell going
11th,
forward.
my bad.
We're gonna definitely want to have drivers. We're gonna, we're talking to have panels for drivers. We're setting stuff up. Once it's all set up, next couple of weeks, we'll start promoting it out, and get you guys tickets for literally free, for like $5. Tickets are usually $99. We'll have promo codes for you guys, so you can show up, meet us, be on part of a panel, hopefully, maybe part of a live stream. We're planning all this, so hold your horses. And that includes great food, good drinks, good times. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. And Curbivore, April 11th coming up.
Yes. All right. With that being said, let's give a quick announcement to Behind the Wheel. Sergio, take that one.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, since we started doing these, the drivers are coming to me as opposed to me chasing them. This is awesome. And last 2-3 are bangers, bro. Gosh, right? The one with Crystal did so well. The one that before with the Seattle driver did so well. So please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. If you have something to talk about, if you have a gripe, if don't talk to me about cancellation fee for 30 minutes. But if you're a veteran, if you're a newbie, what are you doing? How's it going? Right? It's like a fireside chat. I'll send you a Zoom link. We'll hop on. We'll talk about your experiences. We'll talk about what other drivers can learn from you if you're a successful driver, which I'm hoping you are. And we'll put you on. And it's called Behind the Wheel. Really, really cool segment on our channel. And email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I'll hook up with you. I'll give you a call or do a little we'll chat a few minutes, and then I'll send you a Zoom link, and then we'll hop on, record it, and you're going to be on the channel, and hopefully 10-20,000 people will watch you, and you'll be famous. No, but with all kidding aside, this is just for the driver's voice. At the end of the show, we're going to have a segment about getting copied. This is the real deal. There's no other imitation of this. So please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com.
Yeah. Definitely good to get the story out, because, again, as I said last week, there's some people out there that if we say it and you hear it multiple times, but, somebody else says it and it kind of resonates with you a little bit differently because, they say it a different way. And just, it's a way for other people to see their story and, share what's going on with them. So great little series there. I love watching those. Very good. And so make sure you check them out if you haven't, and then also email Sergio so he can get you on the next Behind the Wheel. All right, let's move on. You know, today's topic is really kind of about safety because there's quite a few stories that you got on here
Yeah.
about safety and some issues there. So we're gonna kind of start at the very negative end, and hopefully we're gonna end in a little bit more positive. That's the way the stories are. So hopefully we'll bring it up a little bit. But yeah, let's start off first with a man accused of assaulting an Uber driver.
Yeah, this knucklehead. Oh man, for McDonald's, bro. Going to jail at this age for McDonald's, sir? I mean, seriously, being Oklahoma City. This again, seriously. I know they're our sponsor. I before even that was a reality. We said it how many times? Every show, every other show. You must have a dash cam. And on the Nexar website, the sales are so huge, plus the RSG code that you get more off. I mean, if you don't get a dash cam, and if you don't have one, and then you email me, Sergio, I got deactivated. I go, okay, do you have dash cam footage? I go, no. I'm like, sorry, man. So here in this case, this delivery driver is delivering. This guy comes out of the house. He assaults the driver, grabs the food, goes in the house, and then jailbait, right? So, I mean, okay, people, I understand crime is crime. Dashcam may not stop a crime. But what Dashcam will do is a deterrent, and you have proof. Because in the rideshare world, you are not innocent until proven guilty. You have to prove yourself innocent. And let it be for deliveries, let it be for rideshare with a person in the back seat complaining about you for one reason or another. So in this case, a man facing charges after being accused of assaulting an Uber driver and trying to take the food. Really? He was taken into custody without further incident. The actual person, the Uber driver, was delivering told police that Baker had tried to go inside with the stolen food, which consisted of 2 McDonald's bags. Think about where the society is today, Chris. Okay. And so, safety, okay, first of all, your life is more important than anything. Your car, if something happens, we're going to talk about in Driver's Corner today about safety. Have a plan before it even gets to you. Yes, you may have done 10,000 trips, nothing happened. All it takes is one. Do you have a plan? Do you have an exit strategy? When you're picking somebody up, how do you park? All these tools. When you're picking people up, do you just unlock your doors automatically? There are so many things that you can do for yourself, but none of it is going to, do any good if you don't have evidence of it happening. And in this case, this guy didn't have it either. So what I'm trying to say, Chris, your life is more important than anything you're delivering or a rideshare passenger. You need to look out for yourself first. And if you don't have a dash cam and you get deactivated or get in a crash and not your fault, God bless, help with those insurance companies. You need evidence. So please go get a dash cam. I mean, seriously, man. People go, oh, I can't afford it. Really? $150? You do 100 trips a week, 50 trips a week. You amortize that over a year, it comes down to 10 cents a trip. Yes, you can. So please go visit Nexar and get a dash cam.
And it's also a business-related expense. Not tax advice. Go talk to a CPA, but sometimes those things help you do your job and do it safely. So definite recommendation. But with that being said, let's move on and talk about Uber connected drivers. And this is something I said basically when they started. Are they going to become drug mules? The answer is yeah. And the fact that that they put this in this article right here, man accused of using Uber to transport cocaine through Harris County. I mean, like, they're making it seem like it's so shocking. I can't believe that this would happen. Man, this is probably happening like every single day. Like right now, there's probably somebody who is transporting drugs to and fro and not realizing it with Uber Connect. And I mean, come on.
Yeah, man. This is happening. I mean, we're not going to I don't know the frequency of this, obviously, because you can't check the package, you just can't open it, you can't see the what's in it, obviously, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of drug dealers are using this, except in this knucklehead's case, he got busted. I've had actually one email a few months ago that a driver had a package who was delivering, and he got suspicious and took it to the police station, and it happened to be pot. I guess he smelled it. So my thing is, you know, do you use Uber Connect? I have never used Uber Connect. I will not do
No, I
it.
haven't either.
I will not do it because it's on you. Seriously, if you get pulled over and you get busted with this thing in your car, you can cry, spill milk until they do investigation. They'll book you, I'm pretty sure. And then until they do an investigation, until they let you off, you're going to spend some time in the locker. So all I know is, look, if you're going to do these things, again, safety, again, have some evidence. Again, if you have a dash cam, what is it going to happen? The guy's coming, bringing you the package. He's in your footage and all that stuff. So all I know is, if you're going to do these things, please be aware of what you may be carrying. Are you a drug mule? And yeah, in this case, this driver was a drug mule.
Yep. Go figure. I mean, like I said, this is something that we've been talking about for a while. And yeah, it's just something that, unfortunately, you got to stay vigilant in what you're getting. 9 out of 10 times, there's going to be no issues. Probably 99 out of 100 times, there's going to be no issues. But, if there's anything that's a problem, another reason why you should probably have a dash camera, just in case you get pulled over and you're like, I'm taking this package to delivery. Well, at least you have everything there, so you can, kind of show the proof there on top of the waybill and stuff like that. So
yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Colorado pushing for stricter background checks. Now this is pretty good. This is something that like Boston has, where they have that separate background check, which is much more strict than the standard checker background check, which again, mine came up just this last week. So luckily Lyft was in with it 15 minutes or no, an hour or something. Lyft was done. Uber took like 2 days. I'm like, come on. Both the same exact day. Like, what the heck?
There are horror stories about background checks, bro. Some people take weeks. So Colorado passed the transparency bill where Uber went to court and tried to shut it down. It didn't happen. Courts ruled against Uber, and so the transparency bill is in full force. But now they want to take it a step further. There was a horrific situation that happened also in Boston this week. Okay. Now, actually, after reading this, I did not put it into this segment, but now some Boston politicians are going for this as well. So the Colorado push for stricter background checks for Lyft and Uber drivers. So in this bill, set to be introduced by Meg Froelich of Englewood and a couple of other senators and House members. They're talking about, the worst of all types of assaults, obviously sexual assault, right? And there was a passenger that was sexually assaulted, sued Lyft earlier this year, and the driver who picked her up was using someone else's account. Does that sound familiar?
Quite familiar.
That's quite familiar. Yeah, sure. And the bill, according to the draft text, would require a series of increased safety measures. Now, talk about balanced market now, Chris. But then, this has happened before 9 years ago in Austin, Texas. But we'll talk about that in a minute. The bill, according to the draft text, would require a series of increased safety measures for ride-sharing drivers to become authorized. They would need to undergo a fingerprint-based criminal history record check versus the current watered-down checker background check. Okay, and taxi and limousine drivers in Colorado are currently required to do so. Right? Okay. Rideshare drivers in New York City must submit fingerprints, and Boston City Councilor is calling for a similar requirement after a recent alleged sexual assault in the city, which happened last week. Some, bad apple driver sexually assaulted this drunk woman. He got arrested, fine, but life has changed. So the bill requires real background checks, not the easily manipulated name-based ones that these companies rely on, but fingerprint-based screenings like, we require for other critical industry work. And on the next one, as you put them all three together, okay, so the other thing they're requiring is in the last paragraph, the bill would also require continuous audio and video recording during rides, with an opt-out provision. Okay, what do you say? What do you like? Do you like this, Chris? Because I know what Uber is going to say to this, or Lyft is going to say to this. You know what they're going to say? Privacy this, privacy that, and we're going to leave. Because they did leave, by the way, they did leave Austin for a year when City of Austin City Council of Austin said all drivers must go through fingerprint background checks. I think this will just solve the problem. I think it will just balance the markets completely, because I'm telling you, but so what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, for those who have good driving records, there's no problem. If you got a sketchy driving record, well, you might be kind of a little worried at that point, especially if you're in Colorado. But yeah, I mean, something like that would definitely balance the marketplace. The problem is, though, Colorado is a little more progressive when it comes to their stance on things. So my question is, are they going to allow for certain individuals to get onto the platform versus not, or renting accounts or things like that? So it's kind of a weird little conundrum that they find themselves in.
Well, I think, we'll see where this bill goes, but yes, they're a little progressive state, obviously. But safety for the rider and safety for the driver is paramount in this industry. And as much as the industry has grown, the incidence of these things have also increased, obviously. And, we've seen this in the Uber and Lyft's reports that they put out, safety report. And those are just the reported ones, okay? And I'm betting that they're double, if not triple, of the reported incidents of sexual assault and all kinds of other things. Yeah, I think if you do fingerprint background checks, okay, so hop, skip, and drive, you have to do fingerprint background checks because you're driving minors, right? I don't know. Some people may say it's going too far. Some people may say, well, people are having a second chance, right? Maybe you have some sort of criminal background, but then now you paid your dues to, your debts to society, and now you're an Uber and Lyft driver trying to make a living. I get those points. But then, I don't know. I think, I have to think about this a little bit. I can't just immediately say I'm 100% behind this, but if it were to happen, it would completely balance the marketplace, though. It will be just like
for sure.
all time. Yeah, because how many people will not pass a fingerprint background check? Okay. And if they force the companies to pay for it, I'm sure pretty soon we'll hear Uber saying or Lyft saying, well, we'll leave. We're not going to do that. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
The one thing, though, I like, too, is the continuous audio recording and video recording. That's just smart to have. I mean, again, it's saying within the law, hey, get a dash camera and you're good.
Yeah.
Now, if these companies have to provide for it, hey, that's even better. But, it's something that drivers, again, should just have in general.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about something that is I've been talking about for a while, and that's rewards. Uber and Lyft have different rewards. And I say, I don't give a shit about them because they don't do anything for me. There's no reward there that is worth it. You want to give me a reward? I want money. Well, I think Lyft was listening when I said that, because now Lyft is introducing bigger, better rewards. And of course, there is a catch. There's actually a couple of catches here.
There's many catches.
What? What's up?
There's many catches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're showing the money. They are actually showing the money.
Yeah. So this was sent to me by Tristan from South Carolina, Charleston. And he actually tweeted it, and I responded to him saying, send me this email, and then he sent it to me. And so shout out to Tristan. So this is not in my city. I didn't get this. This is from, I'm sure they're piloting this or testing this as usual. So this is in the Lyft blog. If you're interested, you can go check it out. Introducing bigger, better rewards. So, what to expect. Okay, simplified requirements to qualify. Just meet 4 goals. So now you have 4 things that you need to jump over, and all 4 have to match. And it's an all or none kind of a situation, Chris. So you have to jump on those all over all the 4 things that the requirements are.
So the 4 things are: you have to have an equal or greater to rating of 4.9, so 4.9 or higher. You need to have an acceptance rate of at least 30%. You need to have a cancellation that's 6% or under, and you have to have a safety flags of less than 3. So those are the 4 requirements when it comes to being qualified for this, which is a little bit simpler, but is it though? Is it?
Well, I don't think it's too high of a bar to jump. I mean, if the AR was like 80% or something, then I go like, okay, they're just messing around.
Well,
but the other yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because let's look at the next screenshots. Earn points on every ride. Now you'll earn points for every ride, no matter when you drive. Get 1 tier point for every dollar you earn, including tips, but not bonuses. There's another catch. And with a high acceptance rate, you can earn up to 3 points per dollar. There's another one. So if you look at that one, it's got, if you have an acceptance rate that's going to be, let's say, 30% to 80%, you get 1 point per dollar. So if you give $100 worth of rides, including tips, but not bonuses, that's 100 points that you get. Yeah. If you have a greater than an 80% acceptance rate, you get 2 points. If you get a 90% acceptance rate, now you get 3x the points. So that means you get 3 points for every dollar.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's called
there you go. There's Matt. Matt's here. Hold on. There you go. Let's have a shot. Yep. Every time we say focus, we'll take a shot. There you go. Okay, so
you know what?
Okay,
this
look,
is
man.
Uber and Lyft playing poker.
Hold on.
This is Uber and Lyft playing poker. And Uber says, hey, we have an acceptance rate problem, so we're going to raise. So that's what they did with Advantage versus Standard. And then Lyft came back and said, hey, we're going to call that, and then we're going to raise some more. So we're going to actually give cash out for reward points. And so essentially, you gotta get just enough 30% just to stay there or get active. And then if you want the higher paying points, because if you want more cash, you got to have a 90% acceptance rate.
Oh,
so
he's
you got to
here.
take the garbage that we give you.
Hold on, that's him right there. That's Tristan. Yeah, I agree. And so thank you for doing that. Shout out to Tristan. But okay, hold on a second. But there's one good thing in here. Okay, before
cash points.
No, not just the cash. Hold on. You get a point for each dollar you earn, regardless of the time of the day. Before, you had to do like within this zone, there's this many points within 5 to 7 p.m. Usually it'd be rush hour for 3-point trips. Now you get $1 for each, not buck, a point. You're not getting $1. Don't get excited, people.
So
you get a point for each dollar. For each dollar, and then you convert the points to dollars.
If you make $1,000 before any types of bonuses, if you make $1,000, you get 1,000 points. If you're in between that 30 and 80%, obviously, if you're an ant and you're taking 100% or 99%, well then you're getting 3x those points. So
So
but you're also taking shit rides too. So the one thing, where is it? Hold on, next screenshot. It says redeem points for rewards. If you have tier status when the month ends, any tier points you earn will convert into shop points. Shop points can be redeemed for gift cards, car washes, oil changes, and cash in the new Lyft shop.
Hey, man.
You can redeem any shop points starting on the 1st of the month or continue racking them up over time. And just know that shop points expire after 1 year. So
I mean, it's not bad. Okay. And
you know what? Here's the thing. I actually want to see what the shop is. Show me the shop, because the question I would have is,
I don't know.
what would the shop points equate to? So like, if I wanted $100, like $100 cash or
Yeah.
$100 gift card to Amazon, or whatever it might be, how many points is that going to be? Is that going to be something astronomical, like 50,000 points?
I don't know. I haven't. I don't have this. So he sent it to me. I went to the link and in their blog. Okay. The other thing that you know why? Because see, this is a big announcement. Okay. Yeah, I know, Matt's right. Okay, this is an interesting. Okay, something is happening at Uber and Lyft. You know who left Uber a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Okay, my contact. Bye. Okay. Guess who left Lyft a couple of weeks ago?
Our other contact?
Yeah, my contact at Lyft.
What the heck?
See, I would have gotten this.
Now we're standing on the outside looking in.
Now we're like nowhere, and now I got to start all over now. Now I would have gotten this. I would have done an article about this, right? You know how they send us shit with with embargo, and we do videos.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get this. I saw it on Twitter, Tristan's tweet. I saw it there. I'm like, wow, this is interesting. So then I texted him yesterday. Okay, I texted him yesterday, and he goes, "Yeah, I left 2 weeks ago." I'm like, "What the hell's going on? What is happening?"
Oh,
I'm like in the cold. So, okay, Tristan says 100 points for $1. Oh, hold on a second. Seriously? So that's 100 points. So you earn $100. That means you earned $100 and you get $1.
So you get a percent back.
So if you get 3,000 points.
So if you give $1,000 a week, that's $10. Woohoo.
Oh. I thought it was a little bit better than that. Okay, I don't know about this now.
Come on.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's 100 points for a actual dollar?
Come on. So basically, here's how it works out. 1 point is worth 1 penny to you.
It looks like it.
Oh,
Man,
my God.
that's stingy, bro. I'm thinking like, maybe 10% or something. Like if you earn 1,000, they give you $100 or something.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take every dollar you get, and we're going to convert it to points. But then we're going to take 100 just right off the 100-fold right off. And so that $100 that you did, it comes down to 100 points, but we're going to give you 1 penny per point. So that means you got to hit 100 points to get $1. And of course, there is a minimum threshold of $50. So you have to have 5,000 points. Or no, 500. Yeah, 5,000 points.
Wow. I thought it was more. Holy crap. No. Okay, then no. Good thing I didn't. Well, look, still something. I mean, hey, we can't just keep being negative about
I agree
things.
100% with Matt. All it is gamification, because that's what they're doing. So you could get the 1, 2, or 3 points. Oh, everybody's gonna be like, shit, I want to get 3 points, because that means I could do it in a third of the time, and I can make my 1% back.
Well, you can get, like, if you do the 3-point trips, you can rack up, like, if your $1,000 worth would be 3,000 points. So that's, if you do 4 weeks, that's 12,000 points. That would be $120. I mean, it's a couple of things, I guess.
The question is, how much would you have to make in order to, or how much would you make cherry picking versus accepting everything? Would you make
that
more,
90%
even
is pretty
including that $120?
Yeah, that's 90% is pretty tough. I mean, I don't know. To get those 3-pointers, there's tough. That's the NBA 3-point line there. It's like, those are half-court shots, man. I don't know.
You know what, though? Honestly, I got to say, beyond that, I'll give it to Lyft, because they are listening. Cash rewards, or points for getting oil changes, which is something that all drivers need. Full-time drivers need pretty much every month. So hey, if you could do free oil change, that's going to be helpful for you. Or even if you're getting 6 oil changes, that's going to be helpful for you. So there's a lot of things there when it comes down to it. I like these rewards better, but the problem is, it's like, the when you go putting and you play in the arcade and you get you get all these tickets, and then you go to redeem all the tickets, and it's like
you get
$500,000 for a PlayStation. Like, you spend like $20,000 just to get a PlayStation 5. Like, come on.
Yeah, you get all those long tickets and then you get a gum. So Tristan, did you go to the store? So put in the chat, if you go to the store, like how much is an oil change? How many points is an oil change, let's say? Which is something we're gonna get once a month at least as a full-time driver. How much is an oil change? How many points is an oil change? Or what other things? Like, did you visit the store? And if you did, let us know. Let us know what's in the store.
I mean, hell, send us screenshots so we can show it next week.
This is
honestly,
like what's in the...
honestly, I like the rewards. It's a lot better
than a Slurpee.
It's a lot better than the Slurpee at 7-Eleven that you couldn't get because the machine was always down when you went.
Cookie at Subway.
Or the free cookie that was never there because a paying customer actually wanted a cookie.
Exactly. So no, this is good. I mean, it's not bad. I didn't know it was that cheap. Like, oil. Okay, hold on. Oil change is 7K.
7,000
points.
Well, that would be about $70.
It's not bad.
So, I mean, hopefully the oil change is not, the $30 oil change with conventional. It's actually full synthetic or something. I mean,
I don't know, but I'm just 7,000 points.
Am I?
Well, you can get an oil change a month, maybe. You can get 7,000 points mixed between one and two.
No, I mean, here's the thing. If you are driving full time and you need an oil change every month, you are hitting 7,000 points every month. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you do the 2 pointers. What was the 2 pointers? Between 30 and 80% AR? Is that what it was?
No, 1 point was between 30 and 80. 2 points is if you had 80 to 90, and 3 points is if you had 90 or up.
Oh, that's killer.
That's
I thought it was 30 to 80 was 2 points. Oh
no, that's a hell of a staircase to go from 30% AR all the way up to 80% AR. No. You know what? Let's revise this.
Generosity.
This needs revision. Because if you want to gamify people, you need to do it in incremental steps, because otherwise people are going to have a 21% acceptance rate. They're going to look at that and say, you know what, cash is pretty good. I could get it up to a 30% acceptance rate. And then the 2 points to get up to 80%. Now you're kidding yourself. Let's do it this way. I'll give it to you this way. It goes 30% acceptance rate for 1 point. Let's do 60% for 2 points, and then 80% or 85. I'll even go 85% for 3 points. That's what you need to do.
Okay. No, I thought it was 30. Yeah. Okay. No. 80%. I mean, even if you cherry pick a few, you're going to fall below 80%. So no. Well, look, it's better than nothing, we're going to say. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. I know it's not enough for some people to hear, but then, okay, will this entice drivers to be in the 80+% AR to get these points to get the cash? I don't know. We'll find out.
I am going to say probably not. If you're already a cherry picker and you're in the low digits, whether it's single, teens, 20s, even 30%, where you may qualify, I think you're going to be hard pressed to find the value in trying to get it all the way up to 80%, especially if they're offering you dog shit rides that you're like, there's no way I'm taking this.
Better than Uber's.
Oh, 100%. You know what? I like this. I like the fact that they are putting out money or gift cards or oil changes or things that drivers actually can use. Not freaking coffee. I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about half of the stuff that they had out before. Actually, any of it. I mean, the ASU, sure, if you wanted to go to school, that's a great little extra right there from Uber. But the reality is, how many people are actually going to use that offer? Not very many. And it's not appealing to me, and it's not appealing to most drivers. But the drivers that want things, they want money. They want gift cards. They want oil changes.
I get it.
Honestly, I like that. The problem is you probably set the goalposts a little too far out, and it really is just a game. I mean, if you got 60-70% AR, you'll probably try to get up to that 80%, but it's all going to depend on what you're doing.
That goalpost is always getting moved around. You know what I mean? The points, like the total of points to get the elite. Yeah, that goalpost is all, because now it's 4,000 because all points count now. That's why, Tristan. Before, if you drove rush hour, you could get the elite really quick. But now, because of the points, I mean, whenever you do a trip, I mean, worst comes to worst, you're going to get a point. So
whether you can use
$4,000 a month, that's 4,000 points. So, but then the other thing is bad is in here is that bonus doesn't count I'm like, why? What kind of bullshit is that? I mean,
I don't know.
dollars are dollars. So we'll have to talk about this, Lyft. Not that I mean, anyway. You know what? I will ping Jeremy this week. I think it's his time to show back up.
It is. Honestly, though, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think they need to be more realistic instead of a pipe dream. But when it comes down to it, I like the direction that they're going when it comes to actual rewards that drivers would want versus a fucking coffee and a donut. Like, come on. How many people are already putting on weight because they're sitting in their car for 12 fucking hours? Come on.
Well,
now let's get the money out there. Gym membership would be great too.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Lyft. See what I mean? Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
But,
cool.
I mean, when it comes down to it, honestly, people want money. And then, yeah, I mean, it'd be great if you could get, different places for gift cards to go get tires or something like that. There's a lot of different things that it could be helpful for. So, like I said, great step in the right direction, but it needs to be more realistic. And I think the other thing too is don't rely on it, because we've all seen what happens with some of these types of things. They change all the freaking time. I mean, they've changed. How many times have they changed these statuses for your elite or your gold or your blue or whatever it might be? How many times they've done that over the years? How many times they revamp the program and say, "Oh my God, it's so much better," and it's like, no, it's sidestep. You didn't do shit. So yeah,
them moving this, the goalposts around always is like irritating at best. It's irritating, and yes, but I mean, no, I this is definitely better than Uber's. So yeah.
Yep. Wow, top off payment $530. Whew, I thought the one that I saw was crazy.
You ain't. No, I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. It's
no.
Not,
all right, well, let's move on.
Top off. Yeah, nothing to do with that. No.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about the SETC, self-employed tax credit. Recently, Tyler made a video on this talking about it, and Sergio was like, "I gotta try this. I gotta see how much I can make." So,
okay. So this is something that you all should check into. I will keep you guys posted. I'll do an article. So, it's a company that we work with. Look, there are a lot of scams out there about this thing. So this is not a scam, obviously. And I'm in touch with the company. They didn't tell me to do this, by the way. I was like, I was going to interview a driver. I
gotta try it.
Yeah, you try it. I was going to interview a driver, and then I'm like, why am I not doing this? So on my phone, literally it took me like, I don't know, bro, 3 minutes or less. It's super simplified. And you just fill out the what they're asking you. It's like a questionnaire, and then it gives you a ballpark figure, and then you give him permission to pull your tax records for 2021 because 2020 expired. I didn't know about this. I would have done it for 2020 as well, because I certainly was sitting on my butt at home taking care of kids because they were off school. They couldn't go to school and all that shit. Long story short, I filled it out. It popped a number. It says, now we're going to wait 6 to 7 days for us to pull your IRS tax returns for 2021 to confirm the exact amount, and then that's it. And then we're in the business. So it's called SETC Pros. I filled it up. I don't know what I'm waiting now. It was 3 days ago. Now I'm waiting to hear from SETC what the actual dollar amount is going to be. This is available. This is going to expire April 15, 2025. So if you're going to do it, go do it. Don't be, don't leave money on the table. You may get a few hundred. You may get 1,000. Some people have gotten 30,000. I'm like, if the money is there, as long as Elon doesn't shut this thing down with Doge, I would like some of my money.
That one I don't think can, because it's a tax credit that was based on previous years, so that was already codified. So I don't think there can be any change to that because there's already the deadlines and everything. So yeah, if you want to check it out, if you can, you can check it out by clicking the link in the description, and it'll take you right to their website. So then that way it's the right website versus some shady place that's not. But yeah, keep us posted. See what we'll have to see next week.
Yeah,
what
I will.
your
And the
different.
last thing about this is there is one additional step which I did not do because I'm not in a rush. There is, if you do that additional step, so ID.me, which will immediately get your tax returns to SETC for them to analyze and give you a dollar number, exact dollar number. I didn't do that. I don't want to do it because I'm not in a rush. And it's going to take 6 or 7 business days, they said. So I'm waiting 6 or 7. So by the next show, I should know what exactly I'm going to get and how the process is going to be. Is SETC affected by COVID? Yes, that's about COVID. Times of COVID, 2020, 2021. 2020 expired. I did not know about it. But then now 2021 is going to expire on April 15th, 2025. So if you're going to apply before.
Yeah, it was the Family First Coronavirus Response Act, and then expanded the CARES Act.
It's super simple to do. Seriously, just on your phone, you can do it in 3 minutes. And they want you to upload your driver's license and then take a selfie to confirm that it's you, that you're not, some scammer or whatever. I got the email back. I go, yep, thanks for registration is done, and now we're gonna wait a few days to get the stuff. So I'll keep you guys posted. Let's see, get some money, man. So when you show up, I can take you to a steak dinner. You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say we gotta get a steak dinner, and then we gotta get that Japanese whiskey that I keep hearing about.
You bet. You said it, bro. Wait, actually, I'll just bring you to my house and we'll just drink the whole bottle.
Oh shit.
Well,
then I'll have to get an Uber from your place all the way downtown again.
No, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll drive you. All right. So next one is what? What are we doing next?
Oh, next topic. We're going to be talking about a feel-good story. So this is the kind of flip side, the starting couple of stories. But
if you have a story like this or behind the wheel, send me an email. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is where an Uber driver saves a rider's life. So that's awesome to hear. There's always some good stories like this every once in a while in the news. So this Uber driver gives college student a life-saving ride. She stopped breathing in the back of the car. Whew.
Yeah, those are we talk quite often about medical trips, right? Right. Yep. This was actually one of those. Young lady, college age.
Yep, it's a non-emergent medical ride or an NEMT.
Yeah. And then so she gets in the car in Arkansas. She going to Arkansas State, and an Uber driver was in the right place at the right time. No shit. Give a college student a life-saving ride to the hospital. For Uber driver Shantice Allen, Valentine's Day was supposed to be filled with couples and celebrating the holiday, but one encounter changed everything. Arkansas State University student Mary Mashburn did not feel well due to an existing health issue, so doctors told her to go to the hospital if she ever had a fever. She go, okay. So she called an Uber. I knew I wasn't feeling well enough to drive myself, but at the time, there was nothing really emergent. I was not showing signs of any life or death situation. Well, then what happened? She had anaphylactic shock, bro. She almost died, and this Uber driver
honestly
saved her life, bro. This is amazing.
Yeah. The good thing is, though, she said she wasn't feeling enough to drive herself. And that's huge, because otherwise she probably would have been in an accident and killed herself, like been dead.
Oh, killed herself or other people.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that she was smart enough to say, look, I can't do this, and hire or ordered an Uber. So actually, this wasn't even an NEMT ride. This was more of a, hey, I need to get to the doctors, to the hospital because I have a fever, and I got to get there, but I can't drive. So here comes Uber. And luckily that person was able to be there and get them. The only problem is, this is something that, anybody can have an issue at any time, and you have no idea.
Yeah, and God bless this Uber driver, right? She saved her butt. I mean, she couldn't when they arrived, she was in the hospital for like a week. They had to intubate her. She couldn't breathe. She stopped breathing. Imagine that panic of the Uber driver, poor Uber driver. Here's another reason you need a dash cam for right there. I mean, like she dies, something happens to the back seat. I'm like, holy crap! Like, talk about panic, bro. But my hat's off to Shanice to save a life. And see, Dara, see what we go through? See all these things that we do? Why don't you send her some boku bucks of yours? you know, as a bonus or something. Like throw her a couple $1,000, you know, bonus in her app. I mean, why would you though?
Be nice. Well, it's an independent contractor. Good job.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Love these stories.
That's what they would say. Yeah, no, that's good. Glad to hear. So there should be a program for drivers to get first aid certified. I was thinking that too in the back of my head. The question is, how many drivers would want to actually do that? And
they paid more. If they paid more, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Would.
I mean, if you got paid more, to at least have that training. But the problem is, you know, when they would look at it as well, we got to pay you because extra or whatever, and we don't know if that ride's going to have a problem or not because it's not an emergency ride. If you want the NEMT rides, well then they would come up with every excuse in the book. But
probably. I mean, you know, no, this is good. I love these. But then, you know, these stories, like when I ran the story, it got outnumbered like 10-1 with the other types of stories: stabbing, killing, raping, all that shit. You know, I'm going like, Jesus.
Well, you know
Christ.
this. You know the whole thing. If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah, that's a good one. So the next
problem.
one, I think I'm gonna let you take this one because
all right. Well,
it's your phrase, right? Often imitated,
often duplicated. Often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what Lyft is trying to pull right now. So actually, I came across this from Facebook, and it was in a Uber and Lyft group that I saw. And they said, we're searching nationwide to find 2 hosts for an upcoming podcast by drivers for drivers.
We're right here, Lyft. We're right here.
This unscripted interview show will spotlight real drivers, share tips for maximizing earnings, and dive into the highs and lows of driving life. If only there was that's this show. I forgot. A bit like a talk show, we're looking for outgoing, engaging hosts who are natural storytellers with a gift of gab, have great driving stories they'd love to share, speak their minds and don't hold back, unless we tell you to hold back. Have a great sense of humor and love connecting with others, want to build a community with fellow drivers, understand what makes a great podcast either as a listener or through past audio experience.
So Uber copied this and it flopped.
You know what? Hey, Lyft, I'm gonna give you a real quick thing here. Look, ever hear of a thing called syndication? If you would like, we will syndicate the show for you, and you can have the show on Lyft's YouTube page or wherever you want to put it, whether it's on Lyft's audio channels or podcasting platforms. It don't matter. But
behind the wheel,
again, if you want to syndicate the show, by all means, let's talk.
This one or behind the wheel?
This one.
Oh, well, behind the wheel
is money on RSG as well as
behind the wheel, isn't it? It's almost like exactly. Behind the wheel. I mean,
no, I mean part of it. I think it's a behind the wheel / show me the money club mix up.
Yeah. Well, copying is you know, is the highest flattery. You know, we're flattered.
Flattery. Thank you.
We're flattered.
So how about this?
You're late to the party.
How about this? Instead, how about like I said, just syndicate. Talk to email Sergio and myself, Harry. I'm sure we could come up with an agreement where we could syndicate the show to Lyft platform as well too. So yeah, and guess what? We don't hold back.
Okay, so that was my question, right? Do you think this will be scripted, and do you think it's going to be like free flowing? They can say anything they want, kind of a thing.
I think it's going to be the Kool-Aid grabbers, and I think they're going to be pulling those people more. And I think that they're going to have a little bit of an influence, like you see with the MSM out there already, following a specific thing. So I don't know. I think it's kind of
I don't think they're gonna let anybody talk shit about Lyft.
I mean, they say speak their minds and don't hold back.
Okay. I'll see it I believe it when I see it. So Lyft, I'm open. You're paying what? $6,300. How long is this going to take, though?
It says 50 an hour, up to 6 hours per week between March 31st and August 29th. All work and recording will be done remotely. Oh,
how many dollars an hour? How many dollars an hour?
50 an hour.
50? That's double driving. Hey,
so
Lyft.
if you take the 6 hours per week at the $50, that's 300, and then the amount of weeks there, that's why you can earn up to 6,300.
We're available. Well, not for 6,300, but we're available.
Let me tell you, take a show that works already, and like I say, syndication. So we'll still be here on RSG as well, but we can also multi-stream to other platforms on top of it. So again,
yeah, like
I know you're
Seinfeld,
watching.
syndication. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I know you're watching. So by all means, if you'd like to syndicate the show, email Sergio, myself, and Harry, and we can talk a little bit more. But again, the one thing I am going to definitely disclose right now is we don't hold back. So if we find something like the previous thing that we were talking about, hey, it was great to hear that Lyft had changed the rewards, but we're still calling shenanigans on part of it with all the catches and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's still gonna be the same show. We just can syndicate it.
No, we call it the way we see it. But so last but not least, on this, Uber tried this exactly,
call it,
and they even called it behind the wheel.
yeah. Well, that was a driver interview series. This is more of a this is more like our show, but sharing stories as well too.
Oh, so, yeah, you're right. Hybrid between behind the wheel and show me the money.
So often duplicate, often imitated, never duplicated. Sorry.
All right, bring it down, Lyft. Bring it on. Bring it on.
What's that? Ooh, beep, beep, beep. I hear the money track.
Well, I hear the money train. Ooh, now we get the chat in the chat. Oh, you Lyft shills.
I don't give a shit.
Anyway, all right, we're done. Oh no, we're not done. What am I saying?
No,
Hold
we're
on.
not done. Man, we got we still got our super chat shout outs, which Roulette Wheel, thank you for the super sticker. But yeah, we're going to be talking about our driver's corner and being safe. So hold on, give me a second. Let me put this into the chat. If you guys are interested.
Something is not working. Like, I don't think we're multi-streaming today because we don't have enough live audience here. So I bet you nobody's going to go on.
Unless YouTube's been a little finicky. Another live show that I watch, they've been talking about how viewership has been down. So not sure what's going on there. Notifications.
Grab the link. Come on down. So we're only talking about safety. What you're doing for your safety. If you guys talk about anything else, Chris has the button to eject you.
I got the kick off, mother. I got the ejectocito.
You got the
ejectocito, cuz
007 button to eject you.
Exactly. But yeah, we're looking for 2-3 drivers. Come on, talk about safety. And that. So with that being said, let's go into our chats. First, we're going to go through our super chats members. We saw a couple. John O'Leary, thank you for member. Appreciate that. That's awesome. I saw another one. Hold on. Samantha, thank you again as well for membership. That's awesome. Thank you. Kuber, does Gridwise have a leaderboard? I would like to know. I'd like to know how I'm doing in my markets.
Yes, actually Gridwise does have a leaderboard, just like the other app, but I will double check. However, if you email me, I'll forward your email to Ryan. Play a little support for you guys.
Yep. So I got to highlight this this comment from Steph before the show even started.
Yeah.
So
Steph is I met Steph in person. I met Steph in person at Lyft's airport LAX meeting.
Well,
Steph, holy shit. And she was on behind the wheel. She was on behind the wheel.
Yeah. Steph, since you're in LA, I better see you at Herbivore next month.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I better see you there. And Steph, if you're watching still right now, make sure you hit that join button to StreamYard to come on. We can talk about this, especially when it comes to safety. So crazy story. Sorry to hear you.
Downtown one more time, Steph, but this is daytime hours, so it should be okay.
Yep. So have I got a story for you? After I broke my cardinal rule of never doing trips down to LA, I was nearly carjacked, set up. Most of my things in my trunk were stolen.
Jesus.
Get the dash cam with storage that is easily erasable or holds a lot. I left mine on and used up memory and ran out about halfway through the trip. Yeah. No. I mean, that's tough. And then it says, no way to know.
Lyft
no way to know
ADT failed.
when
Did you see that
nearly
one? Lyft
I
ADT
own
did
it.
not work.
Yep. I'll be getting Nexar 1 soon, despite the cost. I can't afford it. But what happened Sunday was the worst experience. I've had a few. And then,
What?
I thought I highlighted that one too, but I guess I didn't. It was the talking about the Lyft ADT little button that you have
No,
there.
it was on the chat before. It said Lyft ADT 911 did not work.
Yeah, that's what.
So what do you mean you can't afford it? What are you talking about? Seriously, the lowest end is like $130, then like $199 and like two something. I mean, the two something is like you can send rocket to the moon. Just go to the middle one. I mean, you're $100 off, man. I don't know. Like I don't know. Yeah, I saw that one late yesterday, and Nashville rideshare drivers are being banned. Yeah, they are because they did a protest, and they are not allowed to get pickups. Uber turned off their airport access. So that means Uber just took a video and watched this one right here.
Oh, for Nashville?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nashville
All right.
rideshare drivers are being banned from the airport for the February 14th thing. Talk about the biggest babies in the world.
Yeah.
Uber is the biggest crybabies in the freaking world. It's insane.
No, we still have an affiliation. We still have an affiliation with Display Ride. Look, man, you're gonna get it like Zach Greenberger, the CEO, said, get any dash cam. They would prefer you get an Nexar, but get a dash cam. Don't get one from off Temu for $9.99 because it's not going to work. Read the ADT terms. Yeah, I mean, I know. Man. Again, who's coming on? Anybody coming on? Because I'm not going to wait here for like 3 days. Grab the link. Where is the freaking link? Where is it?
Hold on.
Did you put it up?
It's in there. Yeah.
Okay, so Stephanie. There you go. Steph is here.
Perfect. We'll bring her on in a few minutes.
All we need is one today. Let's listen to this thing.
All right. Well, we got Steph. If you want to hold on a minute, we still got a couple more comments, and if anybody else comes on too,
Give us a minute.
Mo says I use Gridwise, plus I absolutely love it. Nice. Yeah, it's great. It's good to have extra apps. Steph, here you go. I am good and finally got someone from Lyft to contact me, but get the dash cam without major memory issues. And bear spray, pepper spray gets you. Oh, I'm sure we're gonna be talking about that in just a minute.
I got your email, Steph. Well, I'll talk to you anyway when you come up. Dash cameras are definitely a must.
Dash cameras are definitely a must. Yep, absolutely. More important than your phone charger. I don't know about more important. I mean, it's definitely up there for sure.
No, that definitely.
That one will have to wait.
One more. Let's go.
What?
Bro,
Nexar does not save all the footage to the cloud, only clips with specified tag. That is true. Often riders will make false complaints where we're 100% normal and don't give it any reason to need. Well, Mike, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. You always clip it. You start clip it at the beginning of a ride, and then you end clip it at the end of a ride. You have every single ride on there, and you never have to worry about it. That's exactly what I did for the many years with my regular dash camera. And then when I got the cloud dash camera, that's all I do. So I still have every single ride available to me, and that's all you got to do.
Let's go, Matt. Number 3. Make it under the wire.
Mo says I connect my Uber, Lyft, Hop, Skip, DoorDash, and even Play Octopus to Gridwise. It's amazing to track earnings, mileage, and expenses. There you go. Perfect. I didn't know it had Play Octopus on there too. That's cool. Carl, okay. Uber's never let me download dash cam data to prove my case.
Not anymore. When was that?
Anymore. And then also, if you take them to court or arbitration, then they have to take it because it's part of discovery.
No, they with all honesty, they have a better unjust deactivation review process now. They really do. Okay, so yeah, geez, we say good. We say good. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, there we go. Macro
Nexar camera. Cool. You loved it. Nice. I have a drug dog with you to connect screen packages from Carl. I don't think that would be kind of cool because I'm sure all the women would be like, "Oh, that's so cute."
Remember that Denver driver who had a dog in the car?
Yeah, did you ever get hold of him?
I can't. No. Bro, you know how difficult it is to get a hold of drivers? They're like herding cats, bro.
Too famous for you. Sorry, Serge.
I can't. I can't.
Kevin says, and then they are also impound your car, which could cost you thousands.
Yes.
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 If you're caught with that in your car, yeah, very much could. Mike Smith, stricter background checks could be good for drivers, clean backgrounds. Absolutely. Keeps
Why?
the marketplace
Just go get a
good.
Nexar. It's like the same price, man. Oh my god.
Roulette wheel says 100,000 points equals a free 16-ounce coffee.
No.
Woohoo! Rolling those points, baby. All right. Well, let's bring on
All right, Matt,
Stephanie
scheduling,
and
Matt. There's
Matt.
Matt. All right, Steph, what's up?
Oh, the worst
Oh.
ride in 8.5 years, hands
Okay.
down.
It seems like it.
Took
Sorry
home
to
people
hear.
that do one of the taco stands that we have here in Southern California that are often run by gangs and they owe their coyotes, etc. And I broke my cardinal rule of never doing a trip to LA, but it was $107 one way there and one way back home. And I thought $50 an hour, golden. And they were great. We get there and I am surrounded by 2 other cars, surrounded by people. They physically hold me to the point like here in my shoulder and neck where I could not feel or move the left side of my body. They try to get my car, my purse, stole stuff out of my trunk, the whole 9 yards. I went to go hit the safety button on Lyft and it did not work 3 times because it says ride in progress. We will email you in 24 hours, but don't worry, your acceptance rating won't be affected. 3 times.
What?
I tried calling 911 and got all circuits are busy.
Okay, so I got your email with the Lyft support response to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get like thousands. So I read it and I'm like, well, I don't even know what happened. I was like, what? So what do you need? You need any help? You need anything with this? Did it get resolved or what's going on?
This morning, I finally got someone at Lyft because I threw a stink of the fact that when I was legitimately in danger and I was genuinely fearful for my life and couldn't get a hold of anybody. And to me, the safety feature failed horrifically. So I finally got someone higher up to give me a call and we're working on things. So it's okay, but it was awful. And my dash cam, about halfway through the trip, I got a notification that all the memory was full. And I had a 256 megabyte memory, and then I upload it to my OneDrive. Like I have a 2 terabyte storage, online storage, and upload questionable rides or rides that I think may be squirrely if they want a free ride. And had it, and I had left it my dash cam on apparently for 2 days and had recorded everything. So it ran out of memory.
Okay. Well,
and so I turned on my camera and I got the last part of it. Lyft doesn't want the video of it. They only cared that I filed a claim, and I said, I'm not going through your insurance. It's $2,500 deductible. Yeah, it was awful.
So
and I am now going to get.
Did they damage your car?
There was some damage to my car where I had to. My trunk was left open and a car door was left open, and when a car left, I bolted it and carry bear spray. Bear spray works great. Works better than pepper spray. FYI.
Yeah, because it's the gel, right?
Yeah. And so, I had damage to the side of my car, to the door, and to the front bumper because I have a lowrider Prius, and it hit the coming out because I went fast and didn't go to curb.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad. First of all, you're okay. Wow. So, but what are you trying to get from Lyft to pay for your stolen items and things? Is that what you're trying?
Well, it was that, but my main thing with Lyft, was I'm not filing a claim. I'm not paying $2,500. But more importantly was we have to get the safety feature to work. That was a major fail. And all I kept thinking in those moments was, where's my daughter going to find my body? Where's someone going to know where I am? Because I was in an LA, didn't know where I was. And I was legitimately fearful.
Where did you drop off? Where'd you drop off in LA?
Huh?
Where did you drop off in LA? Where'd you go in LA?
I don't even know where I was. I think it's somewhere behind Union Station.
All the way downtown.
Yeah, I don't go to LA. I don't know. It sucked. It was full of homeless people. It was a shady area.
That's sketch down there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
So
shit. Well, okay. This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Just do you mind just send me the email again, please?
Huh?
The email. Send me the email again.
Okay, I will.
Okay. All right.
So yeah,
And then
this was my thing of I'm getting a different dash cam that will not run out of memory. It wasn't worth it.
There you go. Nexar, go get
Yeah.
it. Seriously. And then when you said, by the way, I can't afford it, I'm not buying any of that. You do enough trips that it amortizes over to like a dime a trip. Okay. Your life is a little bit
It
more
does
important
that, but as a single mama working part-time, $300 up front is a lot, but
it's not
I'm gonna
$300.
just
The best camera is like $249 plus the discount. It's not $300. All
some
I'm
of
telling
them
you,
that had
get the middle one. Get the middle one. 179 or something like that. Get the middle one.
Yeah. And I may, because I'm just gonna work an extra day or two this week and get it, because to me, what happened wasn't worth it. And not that Lyft cared for the footage that I had, but it was a lesson learned of watch the memory and make sure you have a good one that's always backed up.
Okay, so you do that, but then here's Mike Smith. He goes, seriously, go find an attorney. This is an easy 5-figure case, maybe 6 figures. I don't know. What is she going to sue for? She didn't get hurt. She didn't, I don't know. Anyway.
No, I just had 2 scratches that I didn't need a tetanus shot for. The doctor examined it, but don't need it. That and the person I talked to at Lyft said that they will look at what was stolen to replace that and will work with me for some of the damage on the car that is not that.
So were the people on the trip that did this, or their friends did this? Who did this?
No, the people that I dropped them off to, they're coyotes. So the person that ordered the trip was not in the car. He was on the phone, and he was the one that I was taking them to. So he was, my understanding was kind of like the ringleader of all of it. So, but his account has not been deactivated yet by Lyft.
Okay. Well, okay. Send me that email, please. Would you? Please,
okay.
Again. And say I was on the show or something. Title it like that so I'll remember it right away.
Okay. We'll do.
Okay, thank you. Well, we'll see you at Curbivore, hopefully. We have to come to downtown one more time.
Yes, you will. Take care.
Up.
Thanks, guys.
Be safe out there.
Thanks.
I will.
Yeah.
Thanks, gentlemen.
All right, take care.
Matt.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites.
He's muted. You're muted.
You're muted.
Hey, thank you guys for all you do. And I only have a minute here, but man, I'm so glad Stephanie is okay. Lessons from that story. Dash cam, mandatory, have to do it. Get 2 SD cards and put a fresh one in every day. If you can, back it up. If not, obviously the cloud ones are great, but I kind of worry about the uploading, losing service. That's an issue. But the other lesson to learn from that is do not break your rules ever under any circumstances. Just don't do it. Your safety rules. No amount of money is worth it. Absolutely never. Because another thing is when you've broken your rules, there's a certain sense of, once you broke that rule and you're out driving, you're already a little off your game. You're not as alert. You probably look a little bit more like food. You're a little bit more nervous. You know what I mean? You're putting yourself in a dangerous situation, unnecessary. It's just not worth it. I've done it a couple times early in my rideshare career, chasing a bonus, a quest. I found myself in places that I didn't want to be just to take that ride, and I'll never do it again. You can't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, and then I tell people, when you're picking up, don't unlock your doors, put the window halfway down, confirm who the passenger is that way. Or when you're parked to pick somebody up, don't squeeze yourself between 2 cars. Always give yourself an exit, because you're gonna run. I mean,
if you're
these
picking
things
up
you gotta pay attention,
You're picking up on a dead end street, turn around ahead of time.
Yep.
In my Tesla, I have the rear camera on at all times on those dead end streets. I am looking behind me and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to bolt. The other thing is, if you have any trepidation whatsoever, if you have any doubts or you get that queasy feeling, cancel the ride. Do not worry about your cancellation rate. I don't care how high it goes. It's not worth it. Being deactivated is much better than being dead.
Yeah.
And then I'll
100%.
add this too. The apps have done some things like this ADT and everything. Okay. All that does is cover their butt. Because
Yep.
if you read, I want you to go into the app and read the ADT terms of service. You will realize that it means nothing. It is absolutely worthless because they have given themselves every possible out. They promise no warranty. They promise no guarantee whatsoever. It's just, quote unquote, peace of mind. It's false peace of mind. It really doesn't matter. You can do things like the dash cam. You can do things like putting an air tag in your glove box. So at least, somebody can track you if you're missing, God forbid. If you're carjacked and the car is gone, at least somebody may be able to, track you down at some point. Remember that story, that woman, I think it was in Pennsylvania, they found her, she had that dash cam, the guy threw the dash cam out the window.
Yep. Yep.
At least they were able to get closure for the family.
Yep.
Same thing with believe it was a woman who she took the guy to the motel. He just stabbed her through the seat.
Yep.
Same thing. They had a dash cam, if I recall. They were able to track it down from that.
Yeah.
But you got to follow your gut on these things. It's not worth it ever.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And the case that happened last week in Boston, the driver raping or sexually assaulting this woman, there is talk actually that Boston is going to propose stricter, on top of your double background check, stricter background checks like fingerprints and things like that. Now there's talk about that happening in Boston as well.
Yeah, they should. And the other thing they should do is they should the apps should, as a safety, their cities or states should require the apps to offer ride preferences for a dash cam driver, because although it doesn't guarantee your safety, if the dash cam, I'd rather get in a car with a dash cam as a rider, right?
Yeah.
It protects both of us.
Yeah. No, it's a deterrent for sure. Dash cams are definitely a deterrent. I mean, seriously. So I want you to, in 30 seconds, mention coast to coast, please. Because
we do a live stream on X every Monday night at 7:00. We invite drivers from coast to coast. That's if you go to my bio, Boston_drives on X, you can find a link there. And we're drivers C2C. We talk every week with drivers. We're trying to make the space better. We're here to help. Sometimes it gets negative, but we're really trying to be positive. But we touch on a lot of things you guys touch on. And every now and then we get a guest appearance from Sergio himself, which is always fun. So
I try to make it as often as I can. No, I think it's great. A bunch of
we
veteran drivers.
Yeah, a bunch of veteran drivers, literally from coast to coast, including OGs like Lelius from Los Angeles, my co-hosts Lynn Brown from North Carolina, and the Chuck Driver in Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, it's great. So please go visit on X or old Twitter.
Well, and I'll just say this too. I'd really like to see the apps. I mean, Uber promised this in writing, and they are not following through with this. And I don't know what the motivation for this is, but they need to let drivers cancel for safety with no penalty. And they've promised it, but they're not doing it. And I prove that every weekend.
Yep. Yeah, send the passive aggressive bullshit. Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. It's got to stop. Got to stop. Because you know what? You don't want a driver sitting there going, and I've done this. Even though I don't, I'm aware of, fully aware of what they're doing. You don't want a driver sitting in a situation going, I've already canceled a ride earlier tonight. I don't want to cancel another one. You don't want that. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Happens. Yeah. You don't want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. All right, buddy.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on. Be safe out there. I know you're driving now. Stay healthy. Be safe.
Thanks.
All right.
Take care, guys.
All right.
All right, Sergio, what's your tip on safety?
Oh, I already said, but from the first day, I have my little checklist. Accept the trip. On my way there, you're already thinking where you're picking up. Okay, you know where you're picking up. I mean, accepting of a trip should not depend on where you're picking up, but sometimes It should depend on where the destination is going to be. Okay, I get it. Discrimination, this and that, but I'm not going to jeopardize my life. So first things first, I pay attention to the ping. What's happening? Where am I going? Where am I picking up? That's one. Number two, the rating of the passenger. I pay attention. That's safety. That's safety related. If passenger is 4.63, I'm like, somebody just had a bad time with this guy. I don't want it. It could be safety problem. But more importantly, on my way to my destination, I'm like, my head is on a swivel, right? I mean, you have a dash cam, it's recording, my head is on a swivel. I'm already scoping places. If something is going to go wrong. You can feel it immediately, right?
Yep.
I'm looking for gas stations. I'm looking for well-lit spots. If something happens, where can I just bolt? Just grab my phone and run. Screw the car, all that. So I'm always like checking these things out. And when I'm picking up, I'm telling you, man, I have not picked up. I'll just go put the, you know how they immediately come and grab your door and open the door? I'm like, you're not getting in, bro. I'll put the back window down because they're in the back. I go, I'll confirm their name. Say my name, I'll tell their name because that's it. Or most of the time you can ask their name, who am I picking up? You do that. Definitely give an exit. Don't squeeze yourself between two cars. And like sometimes we're stuck. We're in a dark street. You have to pull in. It's a narrow street, right? You have to pull in between cars and now you're stuck. Now they're going to carjack you. They could carjack you and you have no exit. So just pay attention to all these things. And then you know what happens, Chris? After a few months of doing rideshare, it becomes on autopilot. You're just kind of doing it. You don't even know you're doing it. But you have to have all these things, in your checklist, man. You have to. You just have to.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely know when something weird is going on. You can feel it. But not only that, paying attention to when you're, parked, and always try to leave space. If you can't get in it, like if you say with a narrow road, I just say fuck it, double park, because you should only be there for a minute or so. So the reality is you're going to be on a side street at that point if it's a narrow road.
Go around the block. Keep moving. Go around the block. If you're going to wait, go around the block. Let them come out. Wait for you for a minute there. That's another thing. There's a car behind you, narrow street, this and that. Don't feel pressure. Don't do any of that. And you know what it is? For deliveries, it's worse actually, because your driver is your car is your protection as a driver, rideshare driver, right? But on deliveries, you have to park. You may have to park far from the restaurant. You have to get out of the car. Don't ever leave your car unlocked to go get the food. Ever. Okay.
Or the keys in the car.
Bro, I'm telling you, I've seen drivers who go deliver, right? And they leave the car running in the middle of the street. I'm like, what? There was one, in fact, we did a story. Somebody's car got stolen.
And the best is they leave the door open.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll just be a minute. I'm just going to run. I'm like, the car is gone. Yeah, deliveries actually is more dangerous than rideshare because you have to leave the car once, go get the food, come back to the car, drive, get out of the car again. Most of these things are obviously you got to take the food to the door. Even if it's leave at the door, you have to park the car. You have to get out of the car. So you're getting in and out of the car 4 times on a delivery. On rideshare, you're not even getting out of the car. So delivery is probably more dangerous actually than rideshare. So,
Yeah.
But,
There's just be smart, be safe, and make good decisions when you're out there. And then always trust your gut, because your gut is usually pretty damn right.
You bet. Yeah, don't be the nice guy. It's your car. It's your private ride. You got to watch out for yourself. You're by yourself. I don't care. All these bells and whistles in the app. That means shit. You're on your own out there.
Yep. And remember, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So what that means, it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
You bet.
Just saying.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Anyway, so good show. We'll see you guys next week. I don't know who we have on next week, but we'll have somebody probably.
We'll see. All right. With that being said, it was a great show. Thanks for Ryan coming on with Gridwise. If you want to look more at Gridwise, if you want to download the free version, or if you find some value in it, link's going to be in the description there. The gig report as well is there. So if you want to see the 2025 gig report, the link's going to be there. Again, same thing, dash camera, get one. We have our link with Nexar, where you can save $10 with the RSG Nexar code. So make sure you do that. And again, it's the LTE based. So that's when you flag it. So it goes right up to the cloud. And then that way, if anything happens, it's there and you don't have to worry about those memory cards.
Yep.
Anything else, Serge?
No.
Check your
Call me,
channel out.
Email me for Behind the Wheel if you want to be on Behind the Wheel. Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
And smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Go check our Spanish channel. I speak fluent Spanish now. So does he.
So do I.
Go sign up to my finance. My finance channel is growing, bro. I'm telling you.
Nice.
I'm teaching these people how to be financially free. Get off this rat race you're in. So anyway, but we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Bye-bye.